Welcome back. Today I'm sharing how to make a classic chocolate drip cake. So we're going to go through everything you need to know to make a perfect drip on a cake. We're going to start off by assembling our cake with some moist chocolate cake layers. These are 7-inch cake layers, and I've actually torted them in half so that instead of having 3 cake layers, we actually have 6. I've also leveled them, and I highly recommend doing that just because it makes it a lot easier to stack and frost your cake layers and get a really nice cake with clean edges and corners. So once I've frosted all of my cake layers and stacked them, I'm going to cover the cake in a thin crumb coat, and this really is just going to help trap in any of those rogue crumbs that sometimes come out as you're frosting your cake so that you get a really clean finished look with your second layer of frosting. I smoothed my crumb coat with a bench scraper, and then I cleaned up the top edges with a small offset spatula. The next step is to chill your cake in the fridge or freezer until your frosting is firm to the touch, which usually takes about 10 minutes for me in the freezer. Next, I'm adding on my second, thicker layer of frosting, which we're going to take our time with, and we're going to get it as smooth as possible because that's going to really help those drips shine through. After cleaning up that top edge, I chill the cake one more time because your buttercream needs to be fully chilled and firm to the touch before you add warm ganache onto your cake. My chocolate drip recipe is super simple. All you do is pour half a cup of steaming heavy cream over a half a cup of chocolate chips, let it melt, then stir it together until it's smooth. To test your ganache to make sure it's the right consistency, you can either add some drips to a tall, clear cup like this, or you can do a test drip on your chilled cake. I highly recommend doing a test drip because it's going to help you determine if your ganache is the right thickness and consistency to add drips to your cake. So add a couple either to a glass or to your cake and just let them sit for a minute or two and see how far they run down the cake and what they look like. If they look good, you can go ahead and keep adding them around the cake, but if they're, say, too long, you might want to let your ganache cool a little bit more or add in a little bit more chocolate. And if they're too short, you might want to heat your ganache up or add in a tiny bit more heavy cream. It really comes down to the temperature and the type of chocolate that you're using, so you might need to make adjustments as you go, and doing a test drip is a great way to make sure that your drips turn out the way that you want them to. Now that we've talked about the consistency of your ganache, it's time to talk about how we're adding these drips to the cake. You can see that I'm using a plastic squirt bottle here, which is my favorite way to add them. It just gives you a lot of control and is a really easy and clean way to add drips. But if you don't have a plastic squirt bottle at home, you could also use a small piping bag and just cut a tiny opening at the base and add drips using that. Another method that you can use is the spoon method, where you take just a teaspoon or so of ganache on your spoon, kind of add it to the very edge of the cake, and gently push it over to create each drip. Using a spoon gives you a little bit more control over the length and thickness of your drips, but it can be a little bit messier and it definitely takes more time. Both methods work great. It really just comes down to using whichever one you feel the most comfortable with. Sometimes I use a spoon and sometimes I use a squirt bottle. So once our cake is fully covered with drips, it's time to use the rest of our ganache to cover the top of the cake. So at this point in time, you can relax a little bit. You've gotten through the hardest part of adding the drips to the cake, and now it's time to just cover up the top. I like to add a majority of the remaining ganache and then just smooth it out using a small offset spatula. You want to make sure you add just enough to cover the top of the cake and not too much that it's going to run over and overflow on top of your already beautiful set-in-place drips. At this point in time, you can chill the cake if you want, if that ganache on the top still seems a little bit warm, or sometimes the cake is cold enough that will actually help that top ganache set and you'll be fine. But you just want to make sure that everything, the chocolate, is nice and set and firm before you start adding your buttercream dollops on top of your cake. There is nothing worse than making a beautiful drip cake only to have your buttercream dollops on top kind of melt off the side because the ganache on top was too warm. I've been there, I've done that. Please learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to go through them too. I was obsessed with the way this cake looked, and I actually used an Ateco 869 to make those frosting dollops, but I felt like it needed a little tiny pop of color, so of course I added on some very tiny rainbow non-peril sprinkles. I was so in love with the way this cake looked in the end, and I really love my drip stuff kind of alternating lengths and to go about 2/3 the way down the cake, but there's no right or wrong way to make a drip cake, so if you want all your drips to be the same length and you want them to be shorter or longer, they're all beautiful and unique in their own way, so just keep that in mind when you're making a drip cake. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope that you found it helpful, and I'd love to hear what tutorials you want to see next.